Shalom, Yashala, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High Yahweh, and do so in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Yashar Allah. Call Haloyim La, Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Harakakodash, for blessing our elders with the spirit of truth, so that we may know. Shout out to the Akim and the Agwat that's keeping the faith and the work. Shall keep at it. It's your brother Abaya coming at you with more quoted precepts. But really, I just want to speak on something that happened to me today, right? A situation that occurred earlier today. My sister called me and told me that she had her son had which is my nephew, had an issue with his woman, well, his ex-woman now, right? And how the issue was kind of ugly, meaning they were talking about bringing the police into it. And the issue was physical on the girl part, not my nephew's part, that even led to the situation of the day, right? So, my sister called me and she was like, I'm gonna need you to come with me to come get his stuff. Go get his stuff, right? The girl mama sent a text that basically was on some whole other stuff, man. Like, it was straight niggerdom, I'll say that, right? So, I'm like, bet, I got you, all right? This morning before we go, I say a prayer. Right? I actually pray before I actually leave the crib. I try to every day. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I may forget and I end up praying while I'm on the road. But either way it goes, I pray every day, because you never know what the Most High will send you through. And all you needed was that prayer that morning, to let the Most High know I'm depending on you, just remind you I'm depending on you, so please, look out for me, right? But anyway, so we get to the girl's house and she not there, so we end up having to go to the mom house and see if she was there. So we get to the mama house and we pull up at the house. My nephew get out and he, ring the doorbell to speak to the mama. The same mama that left the crazy message. I would go in detail about what the message said, but it was out there. Like I said, it was on some real life niggerdom, right? The girl that was with my nephew has a son by another man. And, so I'll leave it at that. Baby daddy, baby mama drama, but it ain't his, right? So, my nephew get out, knock on the door, the lady comes to the door, right? Me and my sister, we, in the car, looking at him talk, because he grown. My nephew is not a child, he's a grown man. So, my sister wanted to get out and get involved, but I'm like, nah, he grown. Let him go do his thing, right? So, like it is in scripture, right? Once you get a certain age, man, you're a grown-ass man. And at that point, you got to make decisions based off wisdom, right? So, the lady sees us, and she's like, y'all can come in. So we're like, bet, we're going to go in there. My sister, she was heated, right? My sister be on niggerdom too, but, I've been nagging her on the truth, so she kind of, it's been tamed a bit, but it's still there. Like I said, it's in all of us, for real. But it's just, the more wisdom you have, the more fight you have to combat that niggerdom, right? Like scripture tells us, put on the whole armor of the truth, right? Put on the whole armor of the Most High, right? So we go into the house, and we have a seat. My nephew and the girl's mom. The girl ain't there; she at work. So it's just me, my sister, my nephew, my niece, and the girl's mom. Automatically, I'm feeling like a certain type of way, because scripture tells us we're not supposed to sit with another man's wife, right? So I make sure that my sister is with her, and I'm beside my sister, and in between my nephew and the woman with a table in front of us, right? So my sister and the woman, I'm just sitting back listening, right? Because Scripture also says, he that ruleth his spirit is greater than a man that can conquer a city. And I told my nephew this, right? While they were going at it, when they had a moment of, silence, I spoke that to him, and it calmed his spirit down, right? So, we go into the house, we sit down, and my sister and the woman are emotional as hell. And you already know, when it come to Eve and them emotions, especially if them emotions are anger, it is hard to control, right? But like I said, the Spirit of the Lord was working in them, man. And this how I know the Spirit of the Lord was working in that instance, in that area. While they were going at it, all right, I'm talking about like a back and forth. You know how Eve with the neck twisting, and they going back and forth. I just so happened to look up, and it's like the Spirit was like, bro, look up. And I looked up underneath the television, I saw a shofar. And I know, so-called blacks don't be having no shofars in their house. If you don't know what a shofar is, it's a ram's horn that you use for a horn. Right? So I saw the shofar, I'm like, oh, okay. I look beside the shofar, I see the 7 candlesticks. I'm like, oh, okay. So now the question is it the husband that's in this knowledge, or is it her? So then I look at her, and I see she got a head covered, she got a dress on. I'm like, okay, bet. I know the Most High in here dealing, right? And this the prayer that I shot up before I left the crib. Besides the normal prayer that I always do, which is the Lord's Prayer, right? And you need to pray that every day. Every day, right? If you don't already do it, say the Lord's Prayer before you leave your house, man. Say Shalom when you enter into your house. You ain't got to speak it out loud, but say it. You ain't even got to speak it. Say it in your mind, but say it, right? These things are important because we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against spirits. We wrestle against spirits. We are spirits in these bodies, not bodies with spirits, right? So I see the shofar, I see the 7 candlesticks, I see the head covering, I see the dress, right? The Spirit said, say what you see. So in the midst of them going back and forth, I say, I see you got a shofar and 7 candlesticks. She didn't hear me at first. She didn't hear me clearly at first, right? So it's like, it kind of cut her a little bit, because she was like, what did you say? I said, I see you got a shofar, and I see you got 7 candlesticks. And it's like, when I said that, arguments stopped, the bickering back and forth ceased, right? And it's like the Spirit of the Lord came and said, hey, humble down, right? You trying to, because the lady was talking real crazy about my nephew, and that's why he was getting heated and trying to go back and forth with her, right? But I kept telling them, hey, maintain yourself, like Scripture tells us to do. Rule your spirit, maintain yourself, right? Don't get all emotional like this woman, because that's a woman. You are a man. Behave like one, right? And he took heed, right? And like I said, when I see a shofar, I see a 7 candlesticks. The Spirit of the Lord humbled that woman, and she called her husband, and her husband was busy, but ultimately the husband ended up coming, and everything just worked smoothly from that point forward, man. Right? And that was the prayer that I sent up to the Lord before we left. Lord, please allow this transaction to happen smoothly, and the Most High delivered that, man. I'm saying all this to say, trust in the Lord, man. Scripture says, knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation for a reason. That's not just written just to be written, just to make you feel good. Those are real words that have a real spirit behind them, and that spirit fights for you and gives you enlightenment, in times where you really need it, in times where everybody else may not be in their spirit, and times where everybody else may be in chaos. You'll be totally different than everybody else because you rely and trust on Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. You trust in the word of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, man. That happened to me today, right? And like I said, the rest of the day as it pertains to that situation, which started out chaotic, man, for real, and beyond just today, because like I said, the lady sent text messages to my nephew, and they was on some real wild niggerdom stuff. And when we got to the place, she was still on that same niggerdom mindset, but it's like the spirit of the Lord just came in and just took over, man. It was already on me, you know what I'm saying? And when we were leaving the lady house, me and my sister agreed. The Most High had her call me for a reason, because she has a husband. Her husband could have went, but you know, he had things that he was doing all day, so he was tired. You know how it be when you've been working and working and working and working. You finally get a day off, and on that day off, you got things to do. You got to cut grass or whatever. So you don't really feel like doing nothing for real. Let alone going to argue with somebody and then helping somebody move some things. You don't want to do that, right? But we agreed that the spirit, the Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, had her call me, right, to go into that situation so that it wouldn't go left, right? Because they were getting heated, man. They were getting heated. So I just wanted to share that, man. You know what I'm saying? That experience that happened to me today. And let that be for edification to the body, man. Trust in the Lord, man, always. Keep the Lord on your mind at all times. Always walk in the spirit, and the Most High see you through. He'll change some situations for you, man. And take heed to the word, take heed to the spirit, man. And Yahweh Shema Shah will work that thing out for you. The scripture says man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own way? So if you are walking in the spirit of the Lord and you understand that man's goings are of the Lord, how can you lose? If God be with me, who can be against me? Right? So, yeah, I ended with that. Yahweh Shema Shah, you were edified by this information, by these quoted precepts. Call Haloyim La Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai Bahasham Harakakodash Shalom Yashalom.